Okay, well, I've partially set up camp. It's quite busy here at Cape Croydon this year, so I've left the awning out, furled up, because honestly I probably won't need it, because the way that I had to situate the car means that it's on the wrong side anyway. That there is east, so I'll get full sun in the morning. I might regret it. And that's west, as you see the sun setting over there. Anyway, we're back again after 4 years. There's the moon going down. And the sun coming up. Cape Croydon, or as it was pointed out to me, Cape Croydon. This is a coastal reserve, and you can actually stay up to 28 days with camping fees, of course. That's where we're camped, and we're going to have a walk along that track and go right up to where those vans are. Little mud skippers in the water. Here we are in the middle of the mangroves. Now I'll just carefully make my way through, and we'll get back onto the track towards Mosquito Creek. If my memory serves me correctly, these little beauties here are called lily pilly. Purple lily pilly. It's a fair way to walk to get anywhere here if you have a rooftop tent and you leave it in situ, but I'm getting there. I came up here looking for a camp spot yesterday, but it was quite busy, a little bit less busy today. So I ended up way over there again, but I don't mind. Some of the people who were camped down where I am camped last night have actually moved, I've noticed. Perhaps the wind down there was a little bit too much for them. No, I don't think it's much improved up here. The sign says no camping. So what's that in the background? Must be a mirage. Now, Mosquito Creek. That way. I don't think I'm going to go to Mosquito Creek, because it's really the backside of where I was in the mangroves earlier, and it certainly lives up to its name, because there were a mongrel amount of mosquitoes last night. I see these footprints on the ground. I guess this is backtracking, is what I'm doing. I know that I am, because they're my footprints. Perhaps I've been out too much in the sun. I think I must be going crazy. I sometimes wonder, as I walk along this road, what the Dutch gave up. Unknown to them, and they usually had a pretty good nose for business and a good deal, they were sailing past this coast in the 1600s on their way to the East Indies, and they must have looked upon this land as it was a barren wasteland. Little did they know that underneath our feet here in the whole state was an abundance of riches, mineral riches like gold and iron ore and nickel and molybdenum and uranium and all of those other precious things that cost so much these days, and the Dutch sailed right on past it. Too bad. It's just like old times. I found myself another octopusy. Hello. You might go for me. You're not a blue ringed, are you? I'm not going to hurt you. Come on, I'll leave you alone. Crikey, there's a veritable plethora of octopuses here. I just stumbled across another little boy here. He looks like the same guy, but he's not, because I haven't retraced my steps. I've moved away. I'm trying to get him in the best light possible because it's the sun's going down and I've got a big shadow and he's spitting water at me. Hey? Oh, you got me. The tide is way out, and that's why it's so easy to spot these creatures, because they obviously stay in a similar spot. That's probably the octopus nursery that I stumbled upon there. I did it the last time 4 years ago, but I imagine they're not the same ones. I'll try and get a close-up. You can see the, for want of a better word, the nostrils moving in and out. That's probably acting like a pump. And then he squirts the water out in the defence mechanism. Beautiful creature. And they tell me they're very smart. Although I'm a bit worried about this guy, because he's in 2 inches of water and the tide seems to be going out. So you could get stranded there, buddy, until it comes back in. You'll be prey for a seagull. Now we've got these like new growth shoots, which I imagine are the newer growth of these things here, the plants. Well, I've never seen that before. Beautiful. Look at that. It looks like a pretty healthy reef here, with the amount of plant growth that is now coming back up. The water must be nice for them and clean. Beautiful. I guess for my YouTube subscribers, this is a little bit different to watching red roads and camping sites. Far more interesting. Definitely must be an octopus nursery, or it's their playground. Anyway, I nearly stepped on this guy. You can't see them. Obviously they're all the same species at this stage, although I know that they're like chameleons. They can change their colour depending on the background. And that's why this was so hard to spot in amongst these. I'm just sort of wandering back towards my camp, and this guy is there. The only reason I spotted him is they give themselves away because that defense mechanism of spraying water actually warns you that they're there. Otherwise they could get trodden on. So they're not so stupid, are they? They're not. They're very intelligent creatures. I'm going to try and creep up on a little crab who makes all these noises. He's this pattern in the ground. See him there? I hope I'm catching him for you. Off he goes. Go, my little friend, off you go. Get some safety, quick. There he is, little tiny fella. Now he's gone stock still. Is he in focus? I don't know. Those little sand crabs that we were watching, they create all these wonderful patterns apparently in the sand. Amazing. So exquisite. Nature is so clever. Have a look at them. Tiny, tiny things. Maybe this is where the Aboriginals got the dot painting idea from. Oh look, there's one there. Little guy. He's not going to move. And one just scurried right down that little hole as I was moving. That's where they live. They come out to poop. And I hope this is picking it up, but you'll see there are tracks from a bird. So perhaps they feed on them. This is a significant area for a tribe of First Nations people, Aboriginals, who used to inhabit this, or still inhabit this area. But you'll notice these are all oysters and things, so this would have been a really abundant food source. Now here is an interesting phenomenon. This is a creeper. Just a lone creeper. Let's follow it, see where it's going. It might lead us to the end of the rainbow. But no, it endeth just here. It's Anzac Monday, and virtually all of the holiday makers that were here at Croydon have all gone and left me on my lonesome. Not that I'm complaining. So last night down behind that shed there, it was packed with caravans. They all got up first thing this morning and off they went. And there's nothing left. The people who were standing here where I'm taking this photo, from Queensland, but their son is in Port Hedland. They left this morning. Obviously he had to go back to work. The tide is right in now. Where I was walking and taking the video of the octopi yesterday is about over there, middle of the screen. And as you can see, she's right in the tide. A bit later today when it goes out, I'll have another little wander, I think. Well, all the campers have gone, so I'm going to go for a little walk along the beach. I'm completely alone on this particular section, which is pretty good for me. Don't light crowds. Tide is way in. At low tide, of course, well, you've seen the other shots of the videos. You can walk way out there, but they have some pretty what would you call it, high tides in this particular area. I don't know if you can make them out, but the bird life is very abundant, and especially right now there are 2 cormorant type birds over. In fact, there's 3 or 4, plus a whole heap of other little sandpipers and things getting around. I just hope they're showing up on this this video. Just up ahead in the distance there is a heap of birds, and if I walk towards them they'll probably all take off, so be aware. They're like little ants on the sand. Here they go. Over in the distance you see the dunnies, the shed, and my little lone vehicle just below the hill. There goes the birds. It's interesting when you think about it. There's a solitary, what appears to be, I suppose, a mangrove tree growing there on its own, and a little bit further over is 2 others, one of which is obviously the one in the left, has been there for quite some time, and there's a 4th one just over there in the background, and there they are, just growing. Each tide comes in, then it goes out, and they just continue to grow. I find that quite amazing. We'll just do a couple of little shots of the campsite here. This is one of them, whilst it's empty. And that shelter is actually a Wi-Fi station. You can get Wi-Fi here. The dunnies, and there's some over behind. I was getting a message on the screen that said this camera was getting too hot. I don't know how it could be getting too hot, because it's not stinking hot here. It was in the sun, but there's a breeze blowing. There's got to be plenty of air around it, but nothing's happened with it, so it seems okay. So who's bothered? Not me. Anyway, I've just checked the footage and it seems fine. It's recording okay. I think it's time for a cup of coffee. Sounds good. I haven't got my watch on. You'll notice I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt this morning. That was to protect from windburn and also sunburn. And I do have 50+ sunscreen on, in case you're wondering. For those of you who have a little technical bent, I have a dual battery system in this Nissan. That's the secondary battery, and this is the cranking battery over here. We have the red arc relay system down in there, and what happens of course is that this battery here, the secondary battery, is used primarily to power my fridge in the rear of the vehicle. And if this gets too low, it doesn't draw current from the charging battery. I did a bit of a check on my multimeter just recently, and it was down at 11 point something volts. So now I've put the solar charger on, and that comes through an Anderson plug there, and just a couple of crocodile clips there, and we'll leave that for the afternoon, because I know that this will get charged tomorrow when I take a 457k trip to Broome. But this fridge, because I've got it on freezer, this is my secondary battery in the back, and it's been charging all morning, and the fridge has actually been running on the car battery. So I've fully charged this battery in the back, and that will now power the fridge for the rest of the afternoon. Well, what a difference a couple of hours makes. This is the fourth tree in that sequence that we just took video of earlier, and you can see that it's completely out of water, as is the large one over there. So now I'm going exploring again. We have a crab down in here at this rock. And he wants to be under it. I'll move your rock, sorry. And now he's disappeared. Just like that. I'll probably disturb your home. I'll put it back for you, pal. No, there he is there. See him? Oh. I would think this is the last remaining escape route for some of these creatures for the next couple of hours or so, until the tide turns and comes back in. Like a river. these guys. Black ink, squid, or is it octopus? I can't remember now. Look at that. And they were just lying sunbathed. I'm sorry guys that I actually interrupted your slumber. But you're very interesting creatures. Where did you go? I know this guy is in here. There. Sea snails. Sea snail trail. We have another crab over here. Off you go. It's now 7:15 on Tuesday the 27th of April, and we're just leaving Cape Croydon, and this is the exit point, and there is a speed hump. Yep, there it is there. Yep, gotcha. So now we're heading towards Broome, where I'm going to spend a luxurious 3 days at the Roebuck Bay Hotel. Yay! Shower, shave, shampoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Lucky me. Time for a coffee. I just pulled in underneath there. I better not go in too far because the rooftop tent might just... that'll do. If I can get my door open. Not going to get fuel, I'm just going to go into the roadhouse and maybe get something to eat. I should maybe check my facts because that certainly doesn't look like it's been burnt down to me. It just looks the same old sand fire. So which one was I thinking about? I don't know. Anyway, this is Sandfire Roadhouse. I've just had a bacon and egg sandwich and a cup of coffee, and now I'm ready for the track, Jack. And these are a couple of the resident scavengers. Okay, nice little interlude there at Sandfire. Now, further north, Roebuck, which is the BP service station, 285. We should do that because I've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel and I didn't fuel up there. Should be fine. Come on, you bloody crows, get off the road. Oh, they're kites, not crows. Okay, we're coming up to the Broome Derby Road, the Savannah Way they call this now. And we'll be turning left and going into Broome another 33 k's. Off on the right as we turn left will be a BP service station, the Roebuck Plains Roadhouse, I believe they call it. Okay, let's go. Up there, there's always a way to the army. I bought a pack of 24 of these. I think it was 24. Certainly was a fair few, and I'm down to about my last 5 in 7 days, 8 days, 9 days. So you certainly drink a lot of this stuff up here, and I must admit today it's really hot again. I've had 2 or 3 days at Croydon, which the temperature was supposedly about 35. So it certainly drags the moisture out of your body. Okay, well we're actually on the outskirts of Broome now. It's quite a laid out sort of place. So we're going to go to the town centre off to the left here on the old Broome Road, because I'm heading straight to a Shell service station which is opposite the Roebuck Bay Hotel, and then I'm going to the hotel to book in. Exceeded 3,000 revs at all on this trip, so I'll work out the details once I've look, 50k speed limit. I'll just keep this camera running. Shopping centre coming up over here on the left. We're going to Chinatown, so do keep turning left onto Short Street. Ooh, there's changes. Oh, actually, I didn't want to come here, because now I realise what the changes are. basically at the rowing. Oh, big changes. Biggie changes. Well, I think what I'm going to be doing then is pulling into the Roebuck Bay Hotel, checking in, and then I'll come back out and do my fuel. Because the Rowie is right up here. Look. Come on, hurry up. No, okay. Yeah, here's another one. Can I get a card? Yes. Not in the shade, though. Just over here. I've only got 17 minutes left on this last card. I will do a little video here of the Roebuck Bay Hotel. This is the swimming pool, and all around are the hotel rooms, of which I'm over there behind that door in room 32. I spent just on 2 weeks here 4 years ago when my old Land Cruiser blew its clutch up completely, and it took nearly 2 weeks to get it fixed by the time they got the correct parts and what have you. But this is a really nice place to actually stay, believe it or not. The Rowie is actually advertised as the Roebuck Bay Party Hotel, but I think that COVID itself has put paid to a lot of that sort of thing now, and I certainly remember from 4 years ago it wasn't a raucous sort of place. I stayed out in the backpackers section, and it was very quiet relatively the whole time that I was there. Anyway, I'm now going to settle down with a big book of crosswords. How dull, I hear you say, but hey, when in Broome, do crosswords. I'm going to make my way down to a cafe down here somewhere, if it's still here. Which it is. It's all changed down here in Chinatown because the roadworks, I mean, it was changing 4 years ago, but it's even deader than it was then. It would appear they're turning it all into either a pedestrian, well, I think it is a pedestrian plaza because there's a lot of brickwork going on. But by geez, it must be crippling the businesses. You can still access them, of course, but it certainly doesn't look the part. Anyway, that's progress, and I suppose if I come back here again in a couple of years' time, it'll be terrific. We'll take a little drive out to the port, and then we'll go to Cable Beach, and that will just about do the footage that we need around Broome, I would suspect, because I've done it all before. to Broome without at least having one visit to the world famous Cable Beach. So we'll just take another little wander up here, up the steps, and look at the view. There don't appear to be many people swimming. A couple way down to the left. Mind you, it's very early in the morning. It's 8:30. Most people probably aren't even out of bed in Broome at this time of day. And every sunset evening, they all congregate along here with their drinkies and watch the sun go down. It's a ritual.